Oh my god, I've been trying to make this anxiety video for like an hour now and I keep having to restart and restart. Oh my god. Okay, maybe this will be the last time. So just good morning. It is a beautiful Monday morning here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, with the weather being like 70 degrees and there's no humidity. It's amazing. I'm sitting outside and enjoying it. What are you guys doing? Well, gee, you're probably watching me, but are you outside? Anyway, so yes, I am going to be doing the anxiety video. Maybe, if I can get through it. um, So, anxiety. Like, almost everyone in the world has it at some point in their life, and if they don't, they're a fucking liar. That's how I feel about it. So, one of the biggest things that you're going to have to do to be able to overcome your anxiety is to figure out what is causing your anxiety. Figure out your triggers. Trigger points, triggers, figuring out your triggers. Ba-ding, there goes Facebook. Anyway, to figure out what's triggering your panic attacks. Ba-ding, I really hope y'all are probably gonna hear that. Figuring out your panic attacks, what's causing them, and what helps you best, because there are a million different methods that people will use. I'm going to tell you what helps with mine. I am in no way, shape, or form a doctor or a counselor or an expert in this. This is just from my own personal battles and experiences. Probably one of the best advice I have ever been given, though, is something that some people may call the five senses, which is when you're having an anxiety attack, you will use basically your five senses to try to defuse it. Like, you'll be like, okay, you'll find something to look at and to focus on. Focus on something you're smelling, which is where a lot of essence oils and incense come into play. You can use those. Like, what am I smelling? How does that smell make me feel? Describe the smell. Maybe eat something that's not always healthiest, but maybe try to find something healthy-ish to eat, like maybe some nuts or something, eat a handful of some peanuts or something, just to distract yourself. It's like, okay, now what am I eating? What does it taste like? What is the texture in my mouth? How, does this food make me happy? Of course, eating in general makes people happy. It releases your endorphins, so that's a proven fact, which is why there are a lot of overweight people out there who have anxiety and depression, because they use eating as a coping mechanism, which is not healthy, which I am guilty of doing a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And then there's feeling, like, okay, some people, when those fidget spinners and fidget cubes came out, I'm not gonna lie, I bought a damn fidget cube because it helps to fidget with something with your hands. Like, okay, how does this feel in my hands? Is it soft? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Some people have little dogs. Little dogs. This is my baby. This is my baby. This is my baby. Oh, he helps me with my anxiety. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. His name is Hey Hey. Yes, I named him after the chicken from Moana, because I love this dog to death. He's got a wonderful personality, but he is a tad bit derpy. He's a little on the slow side. You're special. You're a special dog. Yes, you are. Anyway, you're distracting mommy. Sometimes I will love on him and pet him, and that helps tremendously. But doing things like that, just to get your mind off of how you're feeling, because not only does anxiety brain mess with how you're thinking, like you may start thinking the worst things possible, like you're worthless, you're a piece of shit, you can't do nothing right, things like that, from physically, because you mostly start hyperventilating, you are cutting off oxygen to your brain. Then your body physically starts to react to your anxiety attack and your panic attack. So you get lightheaded, you get chest pains, you'll get the numbing, tingling feeling in your hands and sometimes in like your legs and your feet. You get nauseous, you want to throw up. It's all triggered from your panic attack. And you've got to remember to breathe, like take deep breaths and breathe slowly, because you breathing hard and heavy is not going to help. You've got to slow your breathing down, and you've got to just another thing someone told me to do or to try is with the breathing is when you breathe in and then when you breathe out, say a word like relax, relax. And it just kind of, it helps. With smells, like I mentioned a little bit just a second ago, essence oils. Get you one of those bracelets with the lava rocks or the necklaces so that you can drop essence oils on them, so you can smell something and you kind of like focus on that smell. For me, it's lavender and fresh lemon. That fresh lemon scent is almost, to me, it's more powerful than the lavender. But when I smell that lemon, I'm just like, oh man. And I start thinking about fresh cut lemons. I start thinking about how much I love the taste of lemons. I love the smell, what it makes me think of. It reminds me of my childhood, drinking lemonade at my grandma's house, and it brings happiness and it relaxes me. And that's what you want. You want something that's going to calm you down so that you can start thinking rationally, because a lot of times when you get anxiety attacks and panic attacks, your rationalization, your rational thinking just goes out the window. There it goes. Bye. It just goes. There it goes. And so you sometimes make decisions that are not the greatest, they're not the smartest, and they may not be the best. Now, when you are needing to defuse the thought process of anxiety, that is something, there is no one way of doing it. You've got to find what's best for you. I actually read a book that helped a lot with that. It's called The Happiness Trap. It's a really good book to teach you. It's a user-friendly guide for the mindfulness-based program for reducing stress, overcoming fear, and creating a rich, meaningful life. It basically, it's like what I was talking about, you needing to defuse. This book will help you and teach you how to defuse those thoughts. The thoughts of I'm worthless, I'm useless. This will help you get through that. It gives you several ideas on how to detach yourself from feeling those feelings in a healthy way, not like an unhealthy way to where you're just like going numb and not feeling anything, because we don't want that. We don't want you to just shut off your emotions altogether, because that's not healthy, because then you're not really dealing with it. But this is going to help you at least defuse the thoughts that are going through your brain. It basically allows you to be like, okay, I'm feeling upset. Why do I feel upset? I am acknowledging that I am feeling upset. But these thoughts that are coming with this feeling are not necessary. I need to detach myself from those thoughts, because those thoughts are not true. Is a good example of basically what the book is going to teach you to do. And it's going to take a lot of practice, and it's going to take a while for you to be able to do it. I still struggle with it. I am better than I was. But I have my moments. If I'm already kind of just upset in general, it doesn't take much for something small to kind of push me over the edge, and then I give in to the anxiety and I just let it take over instead of defusing the problem immediately, which is what I should have done, like I did the other day. I let the anxiety take over instead of defusing. And it's not healthy, because anxiety itself and you letting it control you is not healthy, because that anxiety leads to more anxiety, because then you start getting anxious about having anxiety attacks. So it's like you're having anxiety about having anxiety. And then that can lead to depression. And then depression kicks in, and then you start getting anxious about depression. And it's like a never-ending cycle of depression and anxiety. And it's not good. It's really bad for you. And you have to push through it. And you're going to fall, and you're going to have your days to where, yes, the depression and anxiety may win, but you have got to have more days where you're the one winning and in control, than letting the anxiety and depression win and let them be in control. Because if you let anxiety and depression control you and control your life, you are not living your life. You are missing out on life, because we all know with depression, you lose willpower, you lose interest in the things that you love, you push people away, you isolate yourself, you stop taking care of yourself, and then eventually nobody wants to be around you, because then you get to the point where, or you not always will, but you can get to the point to where, because you're not helping yourself, people are not going to want to help you. That is my biggest pet peeve, is if you want help, you have to help yourself. There is nothing wrong with asking for help, but you have to be willing to do what you need to do. Because there is no magic pill, and there is no magic therapist that can make the stuff go away without you doing something. You have to push, and you have to fight. It is all about you. You are in the driver's seat. The passenger can help you and direct you on where you need to go, but it's up to you to get to where you need to be. And with medications, there's nothing wrong with getting help with medications to maybe just help get the help. I was on anxiety and depression medication for about a year. And I did it because I felt like I had completely lost control of my life. The depression and the anxiety had taken over. And I was so lost on what I needed to do and where to go that I finally went to my doctor and said that I need help. I need to get back in control. So I went through a couple of different medications. Oh my God. It sucked because I went through 3 different ones in a year. And some of them were better than others. Some of them had side effects I couldn't handle. I mean, in the end, I actually ended up getting off of Wellbutrin. That was the last one I was on. I ended up getting off of it altogether and just not going on any other different medication because I was tired of all the side effects. Because the side effects were not worth it to me. And I was tired of trying different ones. And at this point in my life, I felt like, okay, I have control of my life again. I think I'm ready to get off the medicine and be in complete control instead of depending on a medicine to help. And like I said, I had no shame in getting help with medications. It is there for you to take and to get help, to help you get back in control of your life. But I strongly suggest and recommend that as soon as you feel like you are ready and okay to wean off the medicine to see if you can be in control without help of a substance, go for it. Totally go for it. Now, I know there are some people out there that just can't, maybe because of, that they got bipolar or something like that. It's understandable, no shame. I just know that if you can get off of it, you should try. But if you just can't, it's okay. But you still do need to try to be in control, though. We, as a society, are really bad still about shunning people for having mental disorders, and anxiety and depression is, to me it's a mental disorder. It is a disorder. And I get really angry when people want to say that anxiety and depression is something that you just need to just get over. Well, you don't just get over having anxiety or depression. You wouldn't tell a soldier who's been over in Afghanistan to just get over his fear of loud noises, or to just get over his fear of maybe driving a vehicle because he was in a Humvee that was blown up or something. I don't see you telling them to just get over it. Usually people have anxiety for a reason. And a lot of it will have to do with childhood trauma. With me, I had a mother who didn't love me unconditionally and yelled at me for everything. I couldn't, literally in her eyes, I could not do anything right. So I grew up as an adult thinking that I wasn't good enough and that I could never do anything right. And now I'm having to rewire my own brain because my mother mentally fucked me. Now I'm having to fix it. And there are millions of people out there that are just like me, that had narcissistic mothers, and they're having to fix their brain because they are wired differently. They aren't wired normally because they think that they're always wrong. I think I'm always wrong. And it's hard to overcome that. And it takes years to fix. And you have to also realize that you have the problem to fix it. And you have to accept it. Now, do I still love my mom because she's my mom? Yeah. Do I typically like her? It depends on the day. Do I hate what she has done to me for me to be the way I am? I wouldn't say hate. Hate's a strong word. It's upsetting. And I still definitely cry about it because I just don't understand how someone could do that to their child. But all I can do is learn from her to not be like that, to not treat my children that way, which I do not. I encourage my children. I embrace their mistakes, and I show them what they did wrong, and I show them how to fix it. Like a mother is supposed to do, not just yell at them and tell them to go away. But like I said, it starts with you. You have to do what you can. Anyway, I hope that this was somewhat helpful. If you guys have any questions, just comment down below. I hope to hear more from y'all. Maybe any more videos or ideas that y'all want or want me to talk about. Just let me know. Thanks for listening in, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day and stay beautiful.